Blog Talk Radio.
Been searching everywhere, I can't find no one quite like you. The way you make me feel, the way you make me smile, I love you for that, love. Never thought I'd find love. So kind to me. Ooh, said I never did love, yeah. And I dreamed about you, and I thirst for you. And you came along and filled me up.
What's going on? You have tuned in to another episode of On the Move Unscripted with Patricia.M. Goins and my radio hubby, Mr. Stout. What's going on, Mr. Stout?
Hey, what's going on, honey bunny? All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, yes. Welcome to another week. Yeah, we're good to go.
Yeah, another week. I just want to tell everybody about that meal you made. Like, what was that you made yesterday? That was so good. You did a video of it on Facebook. What do you call that meal?
Oh, that was chicken and broccoli, hood style.
It was so good.
Yeah, it was.
It was so good.
Yeah.
I wish y'all could have been here to taste it. This man can throw down. I'm not just saying just like cook, but he can throw down and he likes to cook. Like, I love it. Like, I couldn't have picked a better radio hubby if you paid me.
Yeah, it was definitely good, and I mean, some more to come. Yeah.
Definitely. It's been another emotional week. It's like things is changing by the day.
Yeah.
You can't even say by the week. In fact, it's changing by the moment. Like, this is crazy out here. Everybody, please stay prayed up because a lot is going on, and we. When I say we, I'm talking about those of us who were born in the 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s. You know what I'm saying? And even in the 2000s up until this point, we've never experienced anything like this. Like, we read about this stuff, you know what I'm saying, in our history books, but we've never been this way before.
Yeah, that's
you know
something that's like, it's the whole, it's like, it's new to a lot of people. And those people who did see some things like this had happened in their life will live longer than us. Like they never seen anything like this, as well. Like, it's just like, it's all brand new. We're all experiencing these things, for the first time. This is world history that we're going through. And, I'm kind of pretty much over 2020 and ready to get to 2021.
You're just rolling in 21. I know. I mean, I remember history used to be one of my favorite subjects. Subjects. So I remember just reading about this stuff and being like, wow, they went through a lot. And wow, I'm glad I didn't live in that time. And here I am experiencing the very things that I read about in the history books. Like, we're repeating cycles. Like, at what point does the world understand that you don't keep repeating the same mistakes, but you move forward and you do something different?
Yeah, I think we are actually seeing some of that right now. Like, people are willing for that change. We just want to see how long this is going to last, before, like, it's a novel idea right now to be like, okay, let's be more mindful towards each other and, and be more cordial and understanding. Let's just see how long it's going to last, because we're still hearing these unfortunate things that still happen in the politics and in the society nowadays. We just want to see, like, it's going to be up to us to push through this. And I had an interview earlier today with this young lady named Essential. Her song she had was called Everyday Love, and that's what she was saying, that we got to get back to, and push all that hate completely out the way and get all the way back to love. And a lot of the artists that we've been having for the past months, a lot of them have that same type of vernacular of what's going on in the world, and saying, hey, we really got to sit down and take time and do God's will, and also get back to love. So that's what I think was going to take.
Right. And you know what? It's going to be so very important for everyone to vote. Like, you have to vote. There's actually a site, because I think I've seen a post somewhere where they were saying that when you go to vote, there's not going to be, like, next to each candidate's name, it's not going to say Republican or Democrat. Like, you really got to know who you're voting for, or you'll be tricked. Unfortunately, we live in a world where they can't just play straight politics. Everybody got to be cheating and stuff. So a site that was given was vote411.org. That's VOTE 411.org. And on this site, you'll be not only make sure that you're registered, but then you'll also be able to look and see what the different candidates are saying, what they stand for, so that you're knowledgeable when you go to vote. This is like one of those elections that's so important, and they're already trying to do stuff to try to suppress our vote. So we have to show up in numbers. I don't give a darn if you can riot or you can protest for hours. You can stand in line for hours to make sure that your vote counts. Yeah. Because this time the electoral colleges better listen to us.
Oh yeah, and
You know
including, I mean, I know some states had primaries that just passed, so it was saying people. I forgot where it was at, but there was people outside in the rain waiting, with their kids in hand or in tow, and they're out there. Like, so people are out there. But then I did see some other things that Donald Trump has had like 140 votes or something like that, 140,000, should I say? On so it's just like it's really people got to really understand how serious this is. And how important it is to go out there and definitely go out and vote and do what you need to do, so then we can, work on that as well to get those things better. So yeah, I'm sure we're going to get there. We just got to come together for one common cause. Let's make it happen.
Right. I'm so glad we have a really good show planned for you today. And like you said, we're coming across artists who have a different message. They have different messages. They have messages for this time, whether it's about love or peace or, whatever the different messages are, they're coming our way, which is awesome. I hear TV in the background, Mr. Stout. I don't know what I'm hearing. But, this is a time when we're getting a lot of different artists who are really, doing their thing. And we have one for today, Miss Javonne Jones, and I believe that Miss Javonne Jones is actually on the line with us today. Miss Jones, are you there?
I am.
Hey.
How you do?
Hey, I'm good. How y'all doing?
Okay, great.
So very good. Yeah, I saw on your Facebook page. And can you tell everybody what your Facebook page is in case they want to look for themselves?
Okay, so I have an artist page. It is the handle Javonne Jones Violin Music. So if you go in, facebook.com/Javonne Jones Violin Music. And I also have my personal page, which is Javonne Jones. And let me spell it, because it's like a lot of ways people spell Javonne. It's Javonne, last name Jones. So if you put in Javonne Jones, you should find me. If not, you can locate my artist page, Javonne Jones Violin Music.
Right. So I saw a post that you put up this past week on your page, and it looks like you were paying tribute to an artist, a known artist, or you were, maybe, I don't know if it was a new one and it was a post that you had just like redone, but I think it was for,
I said like a rendition.
What did you say? Yeah, well, she knows what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Wait, were you talking about? Well, I did a post, I believe, last week. It was a Fantasia song, "Lose the Wind." I did that last week.
Yes.
Yeah, and
right.
I think that might be the one you're talking about.
It is. It's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah,
and
that's it.
And you were saying one of her songs, "Lose to Win." Explain that to us, and then we'll talk about more about who you are. But explain that post to us.
All right. So the premise of the song "Lose to Win," I believe when Fantasia wrote it, she was talking about a personal issue like going on in her life, in her relationship, and that's what she was really referring to in regards to the song. But when I listened to "Lose to Win," I kind of listened to it for a deeper meaning. Like I look at it kind of more like metaphorically, I guess, and the importance of, sometimes you just literally have to take a loss. Like you never really know, like, if there's better out there unless you're willing, to lose something. And, we all have these things in life that we at times just complain about. Like there's things in our lives that we are unhappy with. I don't know anybody that's just really just happy about everything in their life. But we complain about it, but we don't do anything to change it, right? I guess we get so caught up in the complacency in life that, we don't change it. But, God is the orchestrator of our lives, and so he gives us the free will to, like, make those decisions. So it's almost like, why are we investing energy in stuff that we don't like or we're not pleased with? Why not, put that energy into, changing what you don't like? And, when it comes to the change agent, nobody really likes that feeling of change. Like, we kind of fear change at times, and it makes us uncomfortable. But then there's also a pain element too that's uncomfortable. So it's like you're in pain and you're uncomfortable, but why not change that? Change the pain and turn it into just some, uncomfort in the change, because ultimately nobody just wants to keep sitting there getting beat up all the time and being in pain. Why not just be willing to, walk away from some things, those hurtful situations, be uncomfortable a little bit, getting out of your comfort zone, and just agree to, lose this so that I have the opportunity to gain something better. So that's when I listen to Lose to Win, even though her words seem like she's speaking in regards to a relationship, which it does, it can have something to do with the relationship too. But I just look at it total picture, like you have to give up something because you just really never know, whether there's better on the other side, without giving it up to find out. So that's what it was about.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess I wanted to start off with that just to show her personality. I've actually posted it in the Atlanta Music Industry group on Facebook and on my page or whatever, so you can see it. But Miss Javonne Jones is actually an electric violinist coming out of Augusta, Georgia. So what's going on? Are you in Georgia right now? Like, what's the environment
I'm
like
not going outside of here. I know that. Augusta is probably like everywhere else right now, crazy. But
right.
I don't see a whole lot of it because I try not to go outside. I know it's crazy too, but let me say in regards to like the protests and the things going on with the Black Lives Matter movement. When I say I'm so proud of my city, because you find out things that's going on all over the world and protests, and how people are out trying to do something peaceful, and then it's ending up in a violent manner, or, people are burning down businesses and just all types of things to show solitude, but at the same token is ruining people's lives too. Well, Augusta has had several marches. And when I say that every march, and we have little towns, so we have Augusta, which is like the big city. We have neighboring city, Hepzibah, which is where I live. Evans, Grovetown, North Augusta, so all these little areas, kind of like how it is in Atlanta, these little areas. And like each of the little areas did their own protest in that town or in that area. And when I say that people came together, black, white, Asian, it didn't matter. Everybody was out there, hands up, don't shoot. I mean, like everybody was literally coming together in love and unity to show that and to recognize that there's an issue, going on, and that we're going to band together to try to get change, And it was so rewarding. I didn't go out there because I told y'all I'm not going out there. But it made me so proud to know that we could have several protests. And we had a big, meetup on June 6th. I remember that because that was my birthday. And they were, out there, heavy downtown Augusta. And it was so beautiful to see. And people captured pictures and video. And it was just really rewarding. So I was so proud to be from here and just knowing that the city could come together and do something like that, and the people could come out and really conduct themselves accordingly to still get the point across, without having to do it in an uproar and violent manner. So good job, Augusta. Good job, CSRA, for those peaceful protests. So it's been good.
Yeah. I'm glad people are definitely going out there and supporting, and protesting. This peaceful protest, and I know things get a little hectic or a little heated with each other, because both sides and everything. But it's definitely if people will get their point across, and like we tell everybody to make sure they go out and to vote and things of that nature, and get involved in your community and find out, who is policing your neighborhood. It's public information. You should know who these people are, So it's going to be a start for a lot of things. As far as your music and stuff like that, do you, and you as an educator as well, are you letting any of the information that you're telling in your students of what's going on, like prior to, because this was going on before the COVID, but things happen with other marches that or protests that have been out there. Do you speak to the youth about anything like that? What's going on?
Well, currently not so much. I'm in a summer camp right now where I'm actually teaching dance. I'm sorry. I've been teaching dance. Last week I taught dance. This week I'm doing art, like nothing musical, which is crazy. But in that, I was able last week to do a song by Ty Tribbett called "We Gonna Be All Right." Awesome song. And I told the students that, the song talks about, like, police brutality, human trafficking, like all these issues that's going on in the world, not just the pandemic, not just police brutality, but like rape and child molestation and just all this stuff. And a lot of times parents don't know how to discuss these things with their kids. And then but like us teachers, like kids confide in teachers for stuff like that. And so every time I teach a dance to kids, I tell them, what the song is about, because I don't want them dancing to something that they don't know it's about. So I didn't get specific with them in regards to, the different issues, but we did talk about, do you know what's really going on around you? And, they're like, a pandemic, okay, what does that mean? How do you feel about the pandemic? And a lot of those kids, they were like 9, 10, it's oblivious to them. They're just like, cool, I don't like that I can't go outside, but it's not really affecting them much. But then you get I have a nephew that's 15, but it hits him different because he's a teenager. And so he has anxiety, and then, you lose George Floyd. And then it's like, oh, my gosh, is this people just going around killing black boys? And so his anxiety is up, because now he's like, I'm a 15-year-old boy. Yeah. And his town, they found a little boy rolled up in the gym. Rolled up.
Oh, I heard about that story, yes.
You know what I mean? And that's in his town. That's where he is. That's at his school. And so he's terrified about, like, this is what they doing in my city. This is what they doing to little black boys. And he's extremely intelligent, and it's just like, so this is what's happening, So it's kind of like you got, the younger kids that just don't think anything of it. They at this point, they were just happy not to go to school. They didn't care about the pandemic for real, But then you got these big kids that's like, I don't get to see my friends, and I can't go anywhere, and I can't finish school, and I'm not going to have a graduation or a prom. Now they, these shootings is police brutality. They're scared of police instead of feeling like police keep them safe. It's just all types of stuff. So I do have some conversations, like in the music classroom, though, we tend to do a little bit more because music is, directly hand in hand with history a lot. So, we talk about things that's going on, especially in seasonal lessons. We tend to talk about those things. And even right before we got out for the pandemic, like just having to explain to them, like, what was going on, before that decision to close school. Because I haven't lived through it, and neither have they. They don't, we all like going through this together. So just trying to prep them a little bit for what was going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, that's a lot. Yeah,
I just want to commend you. I want to commend you on your EPK. I just want to take a second to just commend you on how beautiful it is. Like, if y'all could see her EPK, y'all would just love her just off of that alone. Like, it was so professional and so beautiful the way you did it so elegant. Like, I just had to commend you real quick on that.
Thank you. That was done by JP Designs. They did, like, the bomb, putting stuff together.
They sure did. It's very professional. I wish that a lot of the EPKs that we get look like this. It would make my job so much more easier.
Yeah, pretty much.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So yeah. I see that since you've been doing your violin you've had a lot of performances and opportunities to open for people such as Ricky Smiley, Tamla Mann, Dottie Peoples. What was that like?
Oh my goodness. It was exciting. I will say that, I really enjoyed the fact that I could just be in front of like a large amount of people, because I'm just like, I use their platform, as a platform. So even though I didn't really get to do like any type of like real conversation with them all, Ricky Smiley, yes, Dottie Peoples, yes, but I did briefly meet, Tamla Mann like on the fly, but you just, want to have conversation and hope that it just sparks, something like, girl, come on here and play this music. But, but at the end of the day, I just enjoy like being able to stand on a big stage. Like this is an auditorium, an arena, and I'm up here in front of thousands of people performing, and it was amazing. And I mean, experiences that I will never forget. So I don't take, anything for granted, because I mean, like literally anybody could have been chosen to do this stuff. It's been some real favor, to be able to, be asked to do that. And somebody, around me hears me and thinks that, I am good enough to be an opening act for a big act. You know what I mean? So that's really awesome.
That is. And she got the skills, though. She let the people hear what is some of the things that she's doing. Let the listeners get a little piece of some of them, that great playing that she has.
Oh, thank you.
So I have one song that I have two songs, but one of the first songs that we're going to play is Yes. So explain how you came up with Yes. The song Yes.
So, well, Yes is a cover by Shekinah Glory, and Yes was put on my album, My Testimony, for a reason. Every song on that album, which is a gospel album, tells the story of my life thus far. And some of them is, ups, and some of them are downs, but kind of talks about how I got to where I am. And when you think about the word yes, when you say yes and you're talking about yes to God, it's like a submission thing. And you're telling him that, you are in control, and I give back to you, what you've given me, type of thing. And so even though in life, like I said, we don't like change, and there's things that we don't want to do, but then it gets to a point where God tells you that, it's time for you to do something. And then sometimes it's like, okay, God, I don't like that, Are you sure that's what I'm supposed to do? And then it's just like, yes, this is what you're supposed to do. And we have to be at a point where we are okay with saying, you know what, God, you know what's best for me. Like I said before, God is the orchestrator of our lives, so he already knows, our purpose. He knows our plan. He knows it from beginning to the end. And so if he tells us to do something, he already, he's got us. We just
right. That's why people be like saying, Jesus take the wheel, right?
Yeah, like literally, like Jesus take the wheel. Like it's already stated. Only thing you need to do is say yes, and then I will handle the rest. And so that's where it came from. It was a point in my life where I said, you know what? I'm not going to try to do this thing on my own. I'm saying yes to him. I'm submitting to his will and just let him do it. And it's so crazy that this song comes up to do, because I am back in the same place again where I had to have a yes moment. In this quarantine season, I had a revelation where I had to do a yes, and it was like, okay, God, I'm ready. I'm gonna do it, and I can't do it without you, type thing. And it's so I just say that because it's kind of crazy that this came at an appropriate time. So So yeah, that's what
you know what?
came from.
I definitely understand being at a place where you have to finally say, I'm going to submit to your will. Like, I've had times in my life, and I share it all the time, with me moving back to Ohio, and I didn't want to do it. And I knew God was telling me to come back, but I was fighting it. But it wasn't until I submitted to his will and said, you know what, I'm going to trust you. And it got to the point where I really didn't have a choice because, you know, if God tells you to do something and it's something that you need to do and you resist it, a whole bunch of stuff will happen to the point where you don't got no choice.
You'll push there.
You don't have
a
choice.
And that's what I don't want to do. I don't want it to get to the point where he forces me out. It's like he said it. Okay, I guess I don't hear you. I ain't listening. And then he'll say it again, and it's just like, oh, I'm not listening. And then, oh, you still not listening? Let me do this and see if you listen. And it's just like, okay, I don't want to get that far. Like, you ain't got to do nothing else. I hear you. I'm going to do it. You don't want him to get to the point where he forces you out. So.
Right. Well, let's get into Yes. Let's listen to it, and then we'll come right back.
Yes. Let's
on the move, unscripted, John.
I'm get some.
You have tuned in to another episode of On the Move Unscripted, and we are currently interviewing Javonne Jones. That was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
It took me right there.
I love that song anyway. That's that kind of song that just puts you in a humble place, in a, you know what I'm saying, in a submissive place where you can just let God minister to your spirit. Like, I absolutely love the song, and so I love your version of it. I'm curious because I see that you say you are that you have is it an electric violin? Is that what you have? So are there different types of violin? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, well, you have your electric one, which like plugs in like the guitar, and then I also have a couple of acoustic instruments and that's just the regular violin, the classical violin. And I have it set up now where I can amplify it. So in case I want like that loud sound, but I want that classical violin feel, I'll use my acoustic. But I love playing the electric though. Ever since I had it, I usually play one of my electric ones because I just like how it sounds.
Strings is one of my instruments. I love those when I create music or produce it and stuff. I like to use them. Or if they have like the like the real string violins playing, that's amazing. Have you ever worked with like producers with hip hop or R&B or like soul music, anything like that? Like added with your strings to them, to an arrangement?
Well, I get a couple of opportunities. Like if there's someone that just wants me to put string arrangements on something, they'll send me, their track, and then I'll add some strings to it. I've had a couple of opportunities where, they had the melody there. They just wanted me to come in and just, whatever they had played out through keys, I just play that on the strings, So I get some opportunities. No big, type of names or anything in R&B and hip hop.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yes, that's right. Not yet, but it's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I love the way it sounds and everything like that, and like all of the education and the time. Like you've been playing it since you was a young girl, right?
I started playing when I was 9 years old.
Wow. Now, what kind of discipline do you need to have that? To at 9 years old, you want to go out and play, or what type of discipline did it need for you to to want to learn such an intricate instrument?
Well, let me say this. I was self-motivated. I actually went to church one Sunday, and I know I was young, and I was a lot younger than 9. I must have been like 6 or 7. And I got to church, and there was this young African-American girl playing violin. And, I mean, maybe not a girl. She probably was like in her 20s or something, But I saw her playing the violin at church, and it blew my mind, and I never forgot it. And I told my sister that day that I was going to play that instrument because I didn't even know what it was at the time, like the name of the instrument. And I told my sister, like, right there at church that Sunday that I was going to play that. And then here in Augusta, they start string program at 4th grade, and I started playing. And, I mean, my parents didn't have anything to do with it. They knew I wanted to play. They went and rented me an instrument, and I was just playing. And I started kind of playing around. Like, I grew up in the church, so I would play around with, like, some church songs, just trying to learn how to play them by ear. And just because I wanted to play, like, other stuff. And I got good at it. Like, it was just a skill. And I was, like, uninterested in really playing the classical stuff, like, the older I got. And I was just playing church music, like, at home, learning how to, like, listen to the song and find the notes and play them. And so now, I mean, I do it so effortlessly. Like, I do this thing called Sunday Night Live on Sunday nights at 9 p.m. and on Facebook Live. And I've been doing requests and I take requests on the spot, and I don't have to know the song. I'm just like, if I don't know the song, I just put the words on, and I just improvise to it because I've gotten used to it, you know.
Definitely.
But I mean, I've practiced that skill a lot. Like, I might not have practiced my classical skills as much as I needed to, but I practiced the skill of ear training and improvisation like so much in my middle, high, and college years. I did it a lot, and so now here I am. That's just what I do.
So I see that you have played in a lot of churches. I know that a lot of churches have not actually opened up yet, which is really unfortunate for, you know, a lot of us who want to be in the house of worship. But did you ever play in any churches in Atlanta? Like, what major churches have you played in, or what? And what's the name of your church? What's the name of the church you go to?
Well, my church is the historic Tabernacle Baptist Church in Augusta, Georgia, where my pastor is the Reverend Dr. Charles E. Goodman, Jr. And I play, let me tell you, I am not a member of the band at church. Don't judge me. Because,
we won't judge you.
Let me tell you, I dance. I think you probably, gathered that. I dance, too. So my ministry at church is praise dance. And when they ask me to, come and, you know, they want me to play something in particular, like it might be a song that they want strings on, which my worship and arts director is Trey McLaughlin, which I don't know if you heard of him, but he has a group called Sounds of Zamar, amazing group. And so anytime Trey asks me, you know, I'm there. Me and him go way back to high school, so I'm like, anything he asks me to do, I do it. But, but I don't typically play at church on a regular Sunday, which is crazy. But I am always going to someone else's church on a program playing. You know, I play at a lot of churches. Nowhere major like that. I play at so many, so I can't. Locally, I mean, it's all the time. A lot of historic churches.
So no churches outside of Augusta?
I do some churches. Like I played at a couple of churches. I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina a lot. I played there. I played. I'm trying to see, have I played in any churches in Atlanta? I really don't think I have.
Oh, I gotta get you out there.
Wow. Okay.
I'm trying to think, but I don't recall playing in any churches in Atlanta. Savannah, yes. But not Atlanta.
You know, during this COVID-19, and I guess the churches are still closed because they haven't figured out how to do the spacing or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but I feel like we really, really need the church doors to reopen. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about all across the land. Because it's just getting so crazy out here. We need that. Like, I feel like, you know, the praise and worship that comes out of the churches is one of the things that helps fight this spiritual war that we got going on that people can't see. It's just like, you know, I don't know, you know. I mean, that's just my thought. What do you think about that?
Well, let me tell you, we literally need the church to open. But I'll say this, though. I understand the reservation because it actually goes beyond, just the spacing, you know, or being 6 feet. It's also you know, the statistics are saying that, you know, a lot of the COVID is being transferred through singing. And so they're going to have to, start altering congregational singing. It's going to cause people to not be able to worship the way that they are used to worshiping. And to me, that's not real worship. and I've already said to myself, and I know it sounds so bad, but I've already said that if my church opens their doors, then I'm probably going to still be at home. because I have gotten to the point where I've made my living room my sanctuary, and that I know that the church is not just those doors. And I know that I can worship God. I can put my church service on my TV, and I can have whole church by myself in here in a safe place and know I can worship him fully and not have to go to my church where I'm being I'm having to be at church early, or it's some type of system for us how we can go to church. We have a big church, like thousands of members. So it's more logistics that you have to go through. You got to check temperatures and, all these things now to be able to get into church. And then you get in there, only a handful of people can even go because now you can't have the sanctuary full. And then I have to wear a mask to worship, and I can't even sing for real because you don't want to spread nothing. I mean, it's just so much, And so I just said that I'm just okay. I hate to, because I know when we get to have some church, it's gonna be crazy. But I just like even if they open the doors, you're not gonna be able to have church like you really want to, because you're still gonna have reservations. So I have mixed emotions about the church thing, because ultimately you want people to be safe. And I know nobody wants to, be responsible for anybody catching COVID in their church, because that's the first thing people start doing. They start looking at the leadership and what did the leadership say and all those things like that. And, why they open the church. Then everybody going to be like, why they open church, So you can't please everybody, but I just think that, I'm glad, at least for my church, that they're taking precautions before opening our doors, because we have lots of members, lots of elderly members, and that's the ones that, we got to take care of and make sure that they stay safe. We all need to stay safe, but those underlying sicknesses and those elderly, we got to look out for them, and so we just got to make some real good decisions.
That they might be doing some things outside, what would that be something that you could?
Now with our church, it's not really conducive with we're like in the downtown area, and so we barely have enough parking, so it wouldn't be conducive for us because we don't have a space. Now we do have a second location. At our second location, there's some space, but it's still not conducive for the thousands of members. I think we're like at 9,000 members or something like that. Oh, wow. And there's no way that we can accommodate for that amount of people to be able to do it outside. It would almost have to be like a certain space somewhere else to do a drive up or something like that. So, this is a lot.
For some of the really big churches who do have space, I've seen them have everybody out in their car, and they be outside with the loudspeakers, and they literally be having church on the in the church parking lot with everybody in their car. It's crazy how our world has changed, and it happens so suddenly. And so I guess that was one way that some of the churches who have the parking space were able to still accommodate their members. Like, okay, everybody outside, stay in your car, and we gonna worship the way we worship. But like you said, the most important worship is the worship that you do by yourself, that relationship you have with God, no matter where you are, even in your home.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like he'll be pleased and he'll get the glory either way, but I know people probably feel better, and safer, in their own home.
Yeah. Right. So I'm curious, when you get ready to write a song, do you or make a song, especially if it's like a remake, like how Yes was or whatever, do you play by actually writing the notes, or do you play by ear?
I'm literally playing by ear. So this is my process. Cause I actually just did a video shoot with an artist from Atlanta. Her name's Glam Graham. She's a rapper out of Atlanta, and she hired me to do a video shoot for her, and it was her song, right? And so what I had to do before the video shoot, even though they're not using my sound, I had to make sure that I learned that part of the song because I need to make sure I'm bowing correctly and I'm, bowing my rhythm right. So I just had to learn the song. So my process is that I play that song over and over again. Like I put my headphones in, I put it on, and I just listen to it over and over again until I can hum the melody. And once I can hum the melody in the correct rhythm, I go to my instrument and play it. And like I've gotten trained to the point where I know where the pitch is on my instrument. Like I can hear the pitch, and more than likely I can find it the moment I pick my instrument up. I already know where I'm going, just because I'm used to doing it. But yeah, I listen to it first. Like if it's a song that has lyrics and I'm playing like as the vocalist, technically my instrument is serving as the vocalist. I don't learn the lyrics, no, but I listen to the song continuously until I know the melody of how the song is sung, and then I go to my instrument. So I don't even try to pick up my instrument and play it until I know how the song goes.
Wow.
And I'm able to sing it or hum it myself. And once I know how to sing it or hum it, I can go to the instrument and pretty much play it.
Wow.
So, yep. That's my process. So I don't write anything down. I do it straight from the brain.
Nice.
Always?
Yeah.
You never write music? You
no.
always go by ear?
Well, pretty much. I haven't written any music down since college, probably. Like I've literally, like if somebody asked me to learn something that's like audio, I strictly just listen to it and play it, and that's how I go about it. If somebody gives me the sheet music, I'll read it off, but most of the time I don't need to write it down to be able to play it. So I just skip that step, and just my practice effort is to learn the song, and then practice the song on the instrument. So I don't even take that step to write it down so I can get used to looking at it on a paper. I don't want to get used to that, because then my focus is going to be on having that paper, and I don't want to become dependent on the paper. So I just rather depend on my brain.
There it is.
Okay. Is it difficult to read music, though, sheet music? Is it difficult to read and learn?
No, I mean, like with everything, it comes with that time and that practice. I took my acoustic instrument out a couple of, maybe like our second month into quarantine. I said, let me take this acoustic out and let me get these classical etude books out and let me, just play around with some classical stuff, because I've gotten away from it, because that's a skill you do have to kind of keep up, So I was like trying to, sharpen back up on my reading. But like once you know how to read, that whole Every Good Boy Does Fine and Face that they teach you in elementary music class. I mean, that's really what it is. And you just have to process it faster, and that just comes with practice. And like with the rhythms, I mean, same thing, one sound, two sounds, no sound, four sounds, like it just all comes with the practice. But it's not hard to read, like starting off, because it's different a little bit. But once you get to doing it, it's not hard. And I have like a lot of my, older students. I've had some older students, and, them starting out trying to do it, it seems like it's harder to process. Well, kids get it quick because they're sponges, so for us it takes a little bit more. So like when I take the same thing that I do on violin and then I go to a piano and my brain is like, oh my gosh, like why? But it's the same thing. But I'm reading and I'm reading the music, I could tell you what it is. But just making my brain process it on a piano is different to me versus the violin I've been playing all my life. Now I'm up here. I took 2 semesters of piano in undergrad, 1 semester in grad, and then I haven't done anything else with piano since. So it's a little difficult for me to just get to a piano and look at the music and just play it versus that same music that I can read for a violin. I mean, I can just pick it up and play. It's weird. It's just actually weird how the brain works and processes information. Yeah.
That's true.
I think that's really amazing that you went to school to, you got a bachelor's degree, a Bachelor of Science degree in music education, as well as, what is it, Master of Education degree in music education?
Yeah.
Did I read it twice? You got a bachelor's and master's degree in music, there.
Yeah, that's all it means.
Yeah.
I got a bachelor's and master's in music. Yeah. And then I wanted to kind of change a little bit, so I went back and got an EDS or Education Specialist degree in Ed Leadership. So if I wanted to be a principal or something like that, I could do that too. I want something outside of music.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. You do you have videos of your music, or are you working with a website or something like that?
Yes, I have a website, and that website is www.JavonneJonesViolinMusic.com. That's JavonneJonesViolinMusic.com. And remember, that's JAVONNE, JonesViolinMusic.com. So a lot of times I put a lot of my videos on there. I have them on my YouTube. You can just type my name in the YouTube and subscribe, please. And I've been trying to keep some up-to-date content, especially since we've been inside. I've been trying to make sure that I do videos a little bit more regular. I do them all the time on Facebook, but just trying to get them on the other platforms. So I'm trying to make sure I consolidate.
I want to make sure I have the website right. Is JAVONNE Jones, JONES violinmusic.com. Did I say that?
That's right.
Okay. I'm putting it on my Facebook page, and I just want to make sure I had it correct. Yeah. So we have another song for you called Beautiful Day. So I want to get into Beautiful Day, and then we'll come back and talk about it. Okay?
Sounds good.
All right. On the Move Unscripted, y'all. We'll be right back.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, so you have tuned in to On the Move Unscripted with me and Mr. Stout, and we're currently interviewing violinist Javonne Jones. Okay, so tell us about that song, Beautiful Day.
Well, that song is a cover of Jamie Grace's song, and pretty much when I think about Beautiful Day, it's just actually really just making sure that you find beauty in something in life. Like, it even in all of this chaos and pandemonium that we have going around us, everything is not bad about what's going on around us. There is some good that's coming out of what's going on. And I would just say in this pandemic, like, all of the time, like, I'm a hustle and bustle person. I very seldom have opportunities to just sit still. And so I found, I felt so good about just having a moment to, like, sit still and handle things that I always put on the back burner, or, you know, I don't sit still long enough just to hear from God, or sit still long enough to really check on my family like I need to. I just wasn't really sitting still ever. And so he forced me and us to sit still and to listen and hear from him, and, you know, and start focusing on things that we've gotten so busy and we started putting to the wayside. So, yeah, people started building relationships with family members and mending broken relationships and friendships during this pandemic, because it forced you to want to do that, because, you know, everybody is going through this together. So everybody is starting to care for each other more than we customarily do. People are coming together in unity more than, you know, we ever have before. And so even though in the bad stuff that's going on, you know, we like to focus so much on the bad. I'm so tired of looking at social media and I see bad. So sometimes I'll look at my social media in the morning, and sometimes I don't even look at it anymore, because our society has gotten so used to focusing on the bad. We literally never really focus on the good. And I've been doing a lot of writing, a lot of blogging and things like that. And I did an exercise in this quarantine season, and I said I wanted to write down what I was thankful for, but I didn't word it that way. Like, when I wrote it down, I put down, Lord, I thank you for this. Lord, I thank you for this. Lord, I thank, and I went every line. I put, Lord, I thank you for this, because it made it personal. It's different than saying I'm thankful for this. I'm thankful for this, because you're just thankful. But when you personalize it and you're telling him, Lord, I thank you for this thing in particular, and I just went on pages and pages. I thank you for, like, all the way down, because we tend to, like, kind of take it for granted sometimes, the things that he's doing. And I said, even in this moment of sadness and fear and high anxiety and everything, I have things that I can thank him for, and that's what I wanted to do. And so that's what Beautiful,
you know what
Day
that is
to me. Like,
that is so true. You're right. Yeah. It's like, even when we were going through COVID-19, it was like all consuming. And then now we have this social injustice, you know, the police brutality and all the things, and it's all consuming. And you're right. It does. You literally have to make yourself get away from all this and look at something different. I know we had Dr. Fletcher on a while back, and she was talking about, you know, this period of time is helping mothers and daughters and family members, like you said, to come closer together and to mend those broken relationships, because you really don't have any other choice. Like, with everything that's going on in the world, you have to get closer to the ones that you love, your friends, your relationships. You don't make no sense if you still mad and ain't talking to somebody, you know, because of some stupid argument, because tomorrow ain't promised to nobody, and we're seeing that on a daily basis. So you're right. So I want to challenge all of us right now. I'm going to start with you, Ms. Javonne, since you put it out in the atmosphere. So say one thing that you're grateful for and you thank God for within 2020, something beautiful, something good. And then we'll go to you, Mr. Stout, and then me. So you start.
I thank the Lord for peace, because there was a moment where I allowed, like, circumstances that I go through, and even stuff that's not even that deep, to disturb my peace. I've allowed people to disturb my peace. And I'm like, I should not allow that. People should not have that much power over me. I shouldn't allow situations in my life to have that much power over me. And so, I got to a point where I prayed for peace, and he literally gave it to me. He's taught me how to trust him. And so I thank him for granting me peace, and keeping those that disturb my peace out my way. That's a big blessing.
Wow. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. All right, your turn, Mr. Stout.
Just for I'm more thankful for to have the time to get my imbalance, balance them again. To have the time to settle down and take in the scenery and breathe in the air and relax and not have to run around, like you were saying, the hustle and bustle is really out there. I've been a part of that, and this is before COVID. I've worked so hard when I come from North Carolina, and then was down there for 5 years and came up here to Ohio, and things just kind of been put in perspective due to the fact that what's going on with COVID. I can practice on my music more, my ideas, the songs, all songs I've been writing for all this time. And I was angry at the world, angry at myself, and just going all discombobulated. And now I have a new outlook on how the way things can go. And I'm pretty psyched about getting everything together right here with in Ohio with my radio wifey. So things are going good, and we're just looking further. Going a lot further where we at with things. And I'm glad we have artists like yourself to come on and tell us your story. And, this is the things I've been doing for years as well. And I get a chance to hear everybody's story and be able to explain to people and have a platform for like this, so, we can, do more things in the future. And we definitely need this music. We want people to go out there and definitely check this stuff out. Yeah. Right.
So for myself, I'm thankful. Let me say first and foremost, I'm thankful for you, Mr. Stout, because our relationship changed and you entered in my life at a time before all this craziness started. And now, as we're going through this, I'm so glad that I have my kids, my family, and you, so I don't have to go through this alone. And I'm also grateful that I was able to, because as a child, I never grew up with my mother, so. With everything that happened with me coming back to Columbus, I was actually able to live with my mother for the very first time when she was going through the surgery and actually get some of that time back that I lost as a child. So I thank God for, my relationship with my siblings, with my children, and what I've had with you, and then also having the opportunity to interview people like you, Ms. Jones, and other people who have something relevant to offer humanity. God has given you this gift and this talent so that you can share it with the world, and we need more of this to soothe our spirit during this rough time. So I thank God for the opportunity that even in spite of a pandemic and even in spite of all the things going on, I'm still able to do something that I love to do. And a lot of people are coming and seeing the value of on the Move Unscripted and what me and Mr. Stout are doing, Scheme Beats Radio, whatever, and they're joining our groups like Atlanta Music Industry Group, and they're just seeing value. So I thank God for that because it allows me to focus on other things and not my spirit is torn by what's going on in America, but it gives me something else to focus on. And then just having my babies around me and just, just like you said, just building those relationships. So I thank God for that. I thank God for my family and everything that's going on in my life right now. Yeah, so that's my thankfulness.
That's awesome.
And I challenge everyone who's listening right now, with everything that's going on in the world and all the horrible things that we have going on, take the time to thank God for what he's doing for you in your life and for the blessings that he's pouring on you, regardless of any hardship. Thank God for the good things. Like she said, count your blessings. It's easy to moan like the children did, in the wilderness. But it's another thing to say, in spite of everything, thank you, God. Thank you for making sure that I eat every day. I got a roof over my head. And, and for those who still are working, I still have a job. And for those who still have income coming in spite of it, unemployment, whatever, it's still a blessing and helping us to, do what we need to do and being able to be a blessing to other people. So I challenge everyone who's listening, do the same exercise and take time to thank God for what you do have instead of looking at what you don't have, Yeah, so
right.
I think that's really, really important.
I hope everybody does definitely do that. Yeah. And what you guys also definitely go to Javonne's page as well. Yeah, just make sure everybody go out there and check out all the social media of Facebook and Instagram, Twitter, and also YouTube page. Javonne Jones over across the board. JAVONNE JONES. You know, so check out Javonne Jones, violinmusic.com, and for booking information and things like that. Yeah, we definitely gonna be looking out for that too. I think we're gonna have to talk so I can get you on some tracks that we working with. My people they're gonna love this. Yeah, so since you working, like you gotta see what it is we can do and get you some more clientele. I see that you also do classes as well, right? So you train people, or you is it like adults, or is it just more like it as you teach them?
I teach privately. I teach children, adults. I have a business called Strengthening Instrumental Services, and that's what I do. I provide string education for kids that directly, as of right now, as it just starts to grow, I want to be able to add on other instruments other than just strings, which ultimately will add on like other arts other than just music, which ultimately I hope will be a fine art school, but that has general ed in it as well. So my end goal is to open a fine art school, but not just with the arts, but with academics as well. So that's my end goal. So doing baby steps to kind of like get there. I build this up. Once I continue to build up my personal studio and I'm generating enough funds to where I can bring on some other teachers that teach other things, because my musician pool is like so large, and I got people that, are good at what they do, and they kind of want to go into private teaching where we can do this thing together then, as long as there's space, they come in, do their lessons, and then it can end up being a big thing, because remember I tell you I dance, so I want to add a dance element, and I put together like productions and things for my school. So I have and I'm not that dramatic, but, I'm knowledgeable about the drama and putting together plays and stuff. So, it can eventually be a big thing. So, but I had to start somewhere. So I'm just starting, managing this first, and then, prayerfully it continues to grow.
Right, yeah.
So I know that you said that you are someone who you are a hustler, like you believe in hard work or whatever. So what kind of advice would you give to other artists, not just necessarily, those who do only instruments, but just artists as a whole, as far as getting out there and getting seen? What kind of advice would you be able to give to someone else who is just starting this journey of becoming an indie artist or a musician or whatever? What kind of advice would you like to give? Please continue.
Well, let me say this. When they say your gift will make room for you, it will. But I think sometimes people think that when you say your gift will make room for you, that just means that you sit there and you wait for God to give you opportunity. No, it doesn't work like that. Faith without works is dead. So with that being said, God got to see that he can trust you with the blessing. So you got to start putting in the work. You got to put in the first step. You have to put in work. And when he sees that he can trust you with, the blessing, he will bless you. When he sees that you're working diligent, he will bless you. When he sees that you're doing much with what you have, he'll bless you. And when he sees that you are faithful in performing in front of 3 people, he'll bless you with 3,000. But you got to show that you are faithful with what he has given you, what you do have. Because I know a lot of times artists get to the point of like, well, it ain't like hundreds of people or thousands of people. I don't want to do it. No, it doesn't matter if you sell 1 ticket. Do that show and do the best show that you can do in front of that one person. And when God sees that you were faithful in that, he will give you the rest of it. But he got to see that you're faithful in that area. Another thing I would say.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I'm saying another thing I would just say is don't give up. And a lot of times, I know with me, I'm a violinist, and I listen to other violinists. I don't listen to other violinists to compare myself. Because if you compare yourself with what you hear, you start trying to emulate what you hear, right? You are your own person. The whole purpose of music is expression of you. It's not expression of the person that you're listening to. Right. So whatever it is that God gave to you is enough. Stop trying to be like somebody else. Stop trying to go out there and mimic what they do. Be your own person. Build your own brand. Just do you. You don't have to do what they do. If you know that you can only stay in, the classical setting, be the best classical musician you can be. If you know you the bomb in rap, writing raps, and be the best rap producer, whatever. Stay in your lane. You can go out there and try some other things. Like I've tried some other instruments, things like that. I'm dibbling and dabbling some things because you don't ever know what you're good at. But don't go out there thinking that what you have is not enough. I dibble and dab in singing now because I want to be more of a commodity when it comes to doing shows. I want to tour. I want to be on stages more. And I want to be able to sell. I want people to buy tickets and want to see me put on a show. And I know at times I'm going to have to get away from only playing the violin. I already know how to dance. I already know how to play violin. Add a singing element. Add some other stuff, to make the show, but never to emulate anybody. My pastor just preached on being set apart, being unique. We all have our own thing. We do not have to be trying to be like somebody else. We all were given something different to be different for a purpose. So that's the advice I would give.
That's fine.
Do you have any Do you have any projects that you're I know you do a lot of covers, but are you planning on releasing anything, or have you already released anything that's just you playing original music that you created?
Yes, I am in the process of doing an EP, and this EP is like telling my love story. And I like to tell story, my life story, my love story, and I am writing, I just finished writing this song called Maybe, which is pretty much talking about taking a chance on a maybe with a guy like, you're too afraid to express your feelings, but how it won't grow into something else if you don't take a chance on a maybe. Pretty much that's the premise of the song. So I have that song that should be done hopefully by the end of the month. I'm praying for that because I really want to release this single. It makes me excited. So I am working on it. And then I have another song I'm currently working on, which is called Just Right. And so I'm planning to do a 4-song EP, and I'm releasing that this summer. So Oh, yeah. And in that, I'm doing some vocals. I did, pull out some vocals on that and instrumentals. So that's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Can't wait to hear that. We'd definitely like to hear that when that drops. Keep us posted with that. And I know you said that you were building a studio. Do you have like a home studio now where you record at?
Yes, let me tell you, it's nothing like super professional. I went to the music store and told them that I wanted to be able to record from home. What is the essentials? And that's what they did. They told me everything I needed to be able to record quality music at home. And believe it or not, that whole My Testimony album was recorded at home.
Okay.
Yep. So that was cool. And even now, with the songs that I'm doing, I've done my recording at home. So yeah, I haven't really been in anyone's studio. A couple of songs, I think a couple of songs on My Testimony were done in a studio, just a few. But the rest of them were done here at home.
So the Testimony, that's out right there? That's out, right? Testimony? I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was actually released in March of 2017. So I've had that album out for a while. Yeah. So that is out, officially. It's on Amazon. It's on iTunes, CD Baby, Spotify. It's out there. That one's fun.
So tell us your social media handles and your website, Facebook, Instagram. Let everybody know how they can follow you. The website address again. Just give them all your social media information.
Okay. Well, my Facebook and my Instagram all have the handle Javonne Jones Violin Music. So that's JAVONNE violinmusic.com. I'm sorry, Javonne Jones Violin Music on Instagram and Facebook. You can find me on YouTube and my personal Facebook, just Javonne Jones. Let me see, what else is it? My website is JavonneJonesViolinmusic.com.
Awesome. And any shout-outs you want to give?
I will shout out my mom. Let me tell you, my parents had nothing to do with me playing, so they just say they throw me in the room and close the door because they didn't want to hear, me making no noise. But then it was so funny. And I ended up being where I am today. They just never pressured me. They never pressured me into doing anything, and they always only supported me. Never deterred me from my goals. I just made a big step. I've been teaching music for 13 years, and I resigned from my job to focus on music and my personal music education goals. And this is major for me. And so my mom didn't judge me, being a grown-up, a 37-year-old not working, but I am working. I'm an entrepreneur. But, in people's eyes, they're like, you quit teaching? I did. And I look at it more like a sabbatical in a sense, so I can spend some more time focusing on my goals. And it, like you said, the hustle and bustle makes you not spend time working towards your goals. And, I would be working at the school and then focusing on my, going to my gigs, and that was my life. Sunday to Sunday to Sunday to Sunday. It was never any time in between to just really decompress and think about things that I really love and that I really value and cherish and want to do, and my goals and where I want to be by next year. It was very little time to really sit down and concentrate on that stuff. So I made the time, now to be able to do that. So my mom didn't judge me. She supports me. Even though she thought I was crazy when I told her, she supported my decision. And so I shout out her, my sister, my family, my nieces and nephews, all my friends and family and loved ones and church family and everybody that supports what I do. and that always they give me ideas, they support my ideas, they buy tickets. If they ever bought a ticket, share the video, like all those people, because people don't have to support, you know. They support who they want. So I really appreciate every bit of support that I get and every opportunity that I get. And I appreciate you all for even having me on the show, because literally, I mean, anybody could have been doing this tonight. And so I'm very grateful that you all invited me on and I made this connection with y'all. So,
yeah.
You know, I think it was meant, because normally we have two guests. You know what I'm saying? Normally we every show we pretty much have two guests on the show. But tonight that wasn't God's will, because you are the only one. And I think that the information that you put out there, the words that you spoke so elegantly, was needed. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? This was a show that was meant just for you. And I can see that you've been honored at several things, such as the Sisters Only Club, as a Shiro, and all the other honors that you've gotten. And I can see why, because you are someone that you're raising the bar, and you're letting people know, this is what can be done, and this is how you can do it. So I commend you on all your accomplishments, and we appreciate you for coming on. And definitely when you drop that your new projects, make sure you let us know so that we can continue support, because even though you've been on the show, we still like to support, a lot of our guests and people that's been on. So we just want to thank you so very much for taking the time to come and speak with us today, and we hope to hear a lot more from you.
Thank you. Thank y'all so much for having me.
You're so very welcome. So that was Miss Javonne Jones. We appreciate her. We appreciate her so much for coming on the Move Unscripted. So we're going to take a little break, y'all, and play some music, and then we'll be right back on the Move Unscripted, y'all.
Come get some.
It is what it is, fam. Flat. That's your responsibility. Them your kids, bro. That's you. Man, I do anything for mine, man. Real spill. Yo. Hey, son, pops came from the mud. Raindrops overflowing to floods. Love, I ain't know what that was. My kids, they know what it is. Not many men did what I did. Return, you not gonna do what I done. Pops don't let her done learn. Streets don't live by no code. Gangsters don't let it get old. Bro, 84 on parole. Whoa. New interest, different demographics. Our kids involved, interactive. Parents get involved. You hear them asking. That dead be dead era. Past tense, my kids always on grid. Product you get what you give. You pop a Pollock, father's got us looking in the pig. Get caught up, the kid don't know who you is. You dig? Hold up. No bruh. I told ya, my shorty ain't gon' be a thug. Hold up. No bruh. I told ya, my shorty ain't gon' be a thug. What? Hey, thuggin' out data, new code, I reshape it. People plug into the paper, funded, transferring through data. Go with the thug guy if you don't change up sooner than later. How will your son feel when he find out what blood that you gave him? Yeah, thuggin' out data, new code, I reshape it. People plug into the paper, funded, transferring through data. Go with the thug guy if you don't change up sooner than later. How will your son feel when he find out what blood that you gave him? Get to know your kids, bro. Give them wisdom. Tell them what they in for. No weapon formed against them shall prevent him. That map traps along that road. That bridge gaps along that moat. That still patches on that boat. That reaction retracted a tab and relapsing was snapping to beast mode. Practicing what I preach. Few fathers that's absentee. More dads now actually. Men, we detach and leave. But boys in the void is attracted to the streets. Lyrics, facts, machine. The image you show, the image they see, the image they beat, the imprint you leave. My son is a prince. My kingdom is his. That's what it is. Hold up. No bruh. I told ya, my shorty ain't gon' be a thug. Hold up. No bruh. I told ya, my shorty ain't gon' be a thug. What? Hey, thuggin' out data, new code, I reshape it. People plug into the paper, funded, transferring through data. Go with the thug guy if you don't change up sooner than later. How will your son feel when he find out what blood that you gave him? Yeah, thuggin' out data, new code, I reshape it. People plug into the paper, funded, transferring through data. Go with the thug guy if you don't change up sooner than later. How will your son feel when he find out what blood that you gave him?
Okay, So I was being nosy, and I went up under the bed. I had already checked the drawers. I went up under the bed. I found the stash. I took the stash. I went into the bathroom. I was sitting in there having a solitude moment of peacefulness and bliss, smoking on, as you affectionately call her, Mary. And here you come knocking on the damn door, blowing my high.
Now can you feel me? Feel me? Yeah. When I ain't have nobody, I had Mary Jane. She stayed down and stayed real even when it rained. You was there when I was broken when the funds came. When Jesse and Corey died, you helped ease the pain. You held me down through the day and through the night time. You had my back when I was in the trap up on my grind. When I'm on the interstate, you blowing my mind. You make it forget and lose track of time. When the started hating it with no touching up. Alform, I must admit that you hated I could. Cause she counts the weightless and come in different flavors. And she make me feel good even when I'm vaping. You kept it 100 and never talked. But I'm sad cause my doctor pressing me to quit. I can't stop, won't stop, I can't leave you alone. When I die, bury me next to Chief Stone.
There's none truer than Mary J. She helps me through it, do it every day. Get me right and send me on my merry way. It's me and Mary. There's none loyal than Mary J. She keeps me spoiled, so I think I'll stay. Get me right and send me on my merry way. It's me and Mary.
Roll the pressure for the pressure. Dirt on my name, I put gold in that shovel. I want that to leave with the stars in it. Another steel kitchen cabinet with the jars in it. Roll up like my wings in it. I'm a different. Soda to a sewer. Cargo my future. All this smoke payola. Sponsor a layover. Wake up to aroma. Exhaling over. Words on my shoulder. Lady, let me hold ya. Yeah, lady, let me hold ya. A green mirror since the lost in the spirit. Blue hundreds on the guard.
There's none truer than Mary J. She helps me through it, do it every day. Get me right and send me on my merry way. It's me and Mary. There's none loyal than Mary J. She keeps me spoiled, so I think I'll stay. Get me right and send me on my merry way. It's me and Mary.
Oh yeah, ain't this a treat? A quarter ounce of weed and some Swiss sweets. 9 o'clock later on, I got to meet. And she say she's looking forward for some to eat. Yes, it's fist to be going down. Mary's along for the ride. Old school bonafide. Got some brew on the side. But me and Mary, we're the talk of the town. And we're always together. See us walking around. All wrapped up, you know, lovey-dovey. She always smells good and she's looking so lovely. When I hit her, she hugs me. I fill her up, she's so hairy.
I'm in love with Mary Jane. She's my everything. Feel like I'm on an airplane every time I'm with her, man. Yeah, I know that she's but I love her soul. Yeah, I like to pimp her soul, but she's not the average.
There's none truer than Mary.
Father seated high up on the throne. If you know him like I know him, then you know. No looking down, that ain't your blessing on the floor.
Out of my right mind, into my heart, because that's where he dwell at. I give him this music, but he wants me to sell it. If I put it on SoundCloud, would that be rebelling? Don't worry about the money, it won't be a headache. I promise an honest man deserves an honest wage. You wave past the cocky, you come of age. My latter days can go a lot of ways. A lot of bills on a lot of pay. Them Tyler Slade during them holidays, so them storefronts up on auto pay. If I'm getting money, is it God's way? If I'm crossing over, sitting sideways, or doing six figures like the L craze, does it really matter if I'm unsaved? That's the pitter patter to an early grave. That's the shitter chatter from a young slave. No need to listen, my honorable mention means nothing to someone not living it. But all is forgiven, he forgave me. I should have bled out in the Red Sea, but it still run, look at how he raised me. I done lost track counting what he gave me. Probably still feel 40 pushing 80. Still be rooted in the word like a tree limb, cause in Christ I can't pass, I can eat them. Some to let their souls go to buy freedom. Stole it dirt cheap, can't afford to buy it back. I done seen some even try to cheat them. Wanna give it all to them, dying on their back. But the funny thing about it, he'll receive them. But his service on earth will be the free ones.
I got all my back, now I can go. Packed up all my sins and hit the road. Don't let the dough now hit me where the sun don't go. It ain't a problem, I can make it on my own. Cause it ain't about where you're from, it's who you know. They know my Father seated high up on the throne. If you know him like I know him, then you know. No looking down, that ain't your blessing on the floor.
What's done in the dark, he gon' bring to the light. What he's done in my life, I'ma bring to this mic. Push. So what come out of my mouth won't live up to the hype. They see it's Christian rapping left and they swipe. That's why they souls going left and they price. They more impressed with living comfortable lives. At autopsy got them chilling on nights, but the Lord got me, that's why I'm still in the fight. I believe what I want, cause they gave me that right. Let the devil tell it, he gon' say what he like. Like a chain smoker, boy, I stay with that light. Hear that pain over burn, I live with that right. Watch that game changer for the end of the night. Now the stain on me, I'm embedded in Christ. My empire built on the back of integrity. Sit at the head and watch everybody eat, but me love for the business, it come with a heavy fee, but my love for the king come with a guarantee. Somebody pray for me if I'm doing wrong. I'm just throwing all my blessings in the song. I'm just trying to do what David did in Psalms. I've been walking with my Father all along. Thirst got me sipping water out of stones. This the greatest love story ever told, about the greatest love man has ever known. This was never meant for me to do alone. The whole team hit the road and brought it home for that homecoming king and that crown of thorns. They ain't on what he say be on. We ain't neither, we just know what team we on.
I got all my back, now I can go. Packed up all my sins and hit the road. Don't let the dough now hit me where the sun don't go. It ain't a problem, I can make it on my own. Cause it ain't about where you're from, it's who you know. They know my Father seated high up on the throne. If you know him like I know him, then you know. No looking down, that ain't your blessing on the floor.
You have tuned in to another episode of On the Move Unscripted. We just had an awesome interview with artist Javonne Jones. That was a really, really good interview, don't you think?
Yeah, it was uplifting and inspirational and insightful, you know. As being a musician and, you know, artists, we are artists ourselves, feel like they're there to have that kind of conversation. I love those kind of conversations about when it comes to music. I was definitely intrigued about the whole conversation about how the way she does her process and how the way, you know, all the things she's accomplished and where she's going with it. It's good to see that. Still happening.
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely. We want to give a shout out to all the fathers, you know, all the fathers who are going to be celebrating Father's Day. You know, you're so needed in this generation, right. You know. So the fact that you are doing what you need to do for your children, you know what I'm saying, is you need to be. If nobody else gives you a pat on the back, let me and Mr. Stout from On the Move Unscripted give you a pat, because you know, you are in charge of shaping the generation of tomorrow. So we commend you for all that you do, you know, all the fathers across the world. And even the stepfathers, not just the fathers who, that's your seed, but the grandfathers and the uncles and the cousins who have stepped in the father's place and all of that. It takes a village to raise a child at a time. So we commend all fathers.
That's right. That's right. And all the ones that paying their child support too.
Yeah, all the ones. Right. All the ones that paying the child support too. Wow. So this was a deep show. I think it was necessary because, like she said, too often, we're looking at everything that's going on in the world, the hatefulness, all the crime, everything that's going on. And sometimes you can get so consumed with that you only look at the glass and your life is half empty when, you got to thank God for what you have. A lot of times we've taken a lot of things for granted. And if this COVID-19 and these issues with these civil issues, police brutality and all that kind of stuff, if it hasn't done anything else, the lockdowns and all that kind of stuff, it's made you realize how much stuff you actually took for granted on a daily basis. And like she said, if nothing else, this has made you sit down. You ain't had no choice but to sit down, spend time with God, start writing out your plan, what it is you work on, and get your mind right. This has allowed you to get your mind right as well as men relationships.
Exactly. Yeah, this is necessary. This is the time to do it. And for those who think that this is not the time for you to do this, these are the ones who are going to suffer even more if you don't try to take the time when everything do start to roll again. Like stay into the now, not necessarily staying on the social media because we all got to take a break from that. I know for some people out there, I know that this is their livelihood, this is the way they work, and and us included as well. But at the same time, you have to give yourself a mental break. We already given ourselves a physical break, so now you got to give yourself a spiritual and mental break, so then that you can recharge. And that's why I did the soul frequency response. That's what it's about. It's about recharging your thoughts, so you won't be so having so much anxiety in the world because there's so many things being thrown at you at such a fast.
What was the name of the song?
Well,
what was the name of the song? You said it real fast.
Frequency response.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. We put that one out there. Like it's anxiety, we all suffer from it in one way or the other, and we're got to get it together. So that's what taking the time. If you meditate or you read, just do other things different than you normally do, and if they take time for it, then you can heal yourself. We all got to, like I said, mentally and spiritually, we have to heal ourselves, and physically, as well. Time to get everything together. So when you are back out there in the field or in the world, you're doing things, you'll be a lot more confident, a lot more prepared for what's to come, because we still don't know what's to come. So let's get it together. Do it together.
Yeah, I think I had like a little meltdown earlier this week where you got to just give me a big hug because I was just like, it had become so overwhelming. It's like when you are someone who you pour out to a lot of people, a lot of times you can pour out so much of your energy, you know what I'm saying? And you need to be re-energized, you know what I'm saying? Because all that negativity can just mess with your energy, and so you have to take time, like you said, away from social media and the news and all the things that's going on, and you just have to spend time and re-energize your spirit, re-energize your soul, and I think I got to that point this week. Like so much negative stuff, and my heart was just mourning for all the mothers and this and that and the other, and I think for a second there, it just became overwhelming to the point where you was just like, Patricia, step aside. And you had to give me like one of them big, Jersey hugs. And I was like, oh, okay. All right. I can do this now. I can do this now. Yeah. So,
the whole world needs a hug. Yeah, the whole world. Yeah.
The whole world needs a hug. Yeah. They going through a
temperature. Make that icon. Yeah,
they need a hug.
Make that icon. Take the heart, like the one that they got those emojis. You get the one around the hole in the world. Hug in the world. We need that out there. Put that up there.
Right. I hope while they up there in space doing whatever they doing, that they sprinkling some love down. Come stop messing around up there.
Yeah. I know,
they
right?
showed images of them up there. I'm like, stop shaking stuff around. What's wrong with these people now? Or while y'all up there, why don't y'all spin the earth back in the right direction? Because we crazy right now, but
right, we really need it.
Yeah. This was a very good show. And I hope that I want to thank all of our listeners, people, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Blog Talk Radio listeners, Spreaker.com, Star Music Radio, just all our listeners. We just want to thank y'all. Yeah, YouTube, Facebook, all those who happen to stumble across this show, listen to it from the beginning and get all that you can from it, because you didn't stumble across the show for nothing. Like, there was something in this for you, Even if it's nothing else, but to tell you, take time to thank God for what you do have instead of only grumbling about what you don't. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly. Yeah, we're gonna do this, and we want to definitely put out there too that we had the 10,000. We're still celebrating that, guys. So what's coming up for 10,000 for Atlantic Music Industry Group? We want you guys to still join us over there. But we're going to put together celebration still will be coming up. We trying to get the dates together. I know the holidays are coming up. We're going to try to make it so that everybody can get involved and celebrate with us. And then soon as things can get a little bit better, we'll come out there. We'll see you guys out there in Atlanta soon too.
Right. My heart goes out to Atlanta because, they're going through their thing. In fact, the whole country is. So, like you said, when everything simmers down and they open up and everything's back to whatever the new normal is going to be, hopefully we'll be able to have some events and really get some of these artists that are in the Atlanta Music Industry Group to actually come out and perform, some of the ones who we've actually had on the show or whatever. But until then, we'll probably we'll be putting out information about our Zoom celebration that we've been talking about.
Right, and also we'll give congratulations to, what was the artist's name? Swagger, the one who won the best video as well, right?
Oh, the player from the Himalayas.
Gwala. Yeah, Gwala.
Oh, yeah. His name is Under God Gwala. And actually, he'll be on the show on June 23rd at 9. So it'll be nice to hear him talk about who he is and you know what I'm saying, and everything that's going on. And if you're, you're an artist and you got it going on, send us a message or to either On the Move Show at hotmail.com, or what's yours, Mr. Stout?
Oh, yeah, you can do it, Kenneth Stout 71 at gmail.com or SkeenBeatsRadio@gmail.com. Google me. Pop up. I can say that now.
It's so funny. People don't even realize that we are both artists, but we still do a little bit of here and there for our own self. Like, we still put our own stuff out, but we really enjoy seeing other people grow and prosper and do their thing. Like, we enjoy what we do. We've been doing it for years. So, we really love what we do. So you say your song is called Frequency Response, Mr. Stout?
Yeah, Frequency Response has just been re-released on realityisradio.com, which is a radio station that's run by Pinky Ray. I actually just seen that she's going to be in a new film coming up real soon, so you guys look out for that. And the song is on there with Michonne Young. We have Amira on there, Amira's Music, Nevaeh, two other artists that was on there, Jimmy Allgood. So we get music in rotation, and all these spins that these artists get accrue royalties, DRT database. So you guys, we help the artists out. We get you in these radio campaigns. We got some things coming up with XOD, which is Experience on Demand. We want to get your video on a TV show or sync licensing. All that is available right now. You know what I mean? You can get in touch with us. You can call me up at 732-330-1539. I'll put that out there. You holler at your boy, Mr. Stout. And also you hit us up at kennethstout71@gmail.com. And also it's On the Move at Hotmail.
On the Move Show at hotmail.com.
On the Move Show, yes.
So it really doesn't even matter. On the Move Show at hotmail.com. It doesn't really matter which one you send it to, because ultimately it's we're a team,
Right.
Me and Mr. Stout is a team. We're a team,
I know. I was like, yeah, we chilling tonight. We got the nice smooth music. Oh no, we got some candles popping or something. Oh no. It's Tuesday night.
Party over here.
Get the bubble bath going and all that. Hold on, y'all.
You a mess.
I know when Javonne was playing that nice string music, he's playing that violin. I'm like, okay, you got to sound like a
right.
Netflix and chill.
Right. Stop it. Yes, that's my boo there. We chilling. I want them to hear a little bit of frequency response. So how about we end the show with frequency response?
Yeah.
So make sure y'all tune in to On the Move, Unscripted, On Purpose on Thursday with me and the ladies, because we're going in. We're going in.
How to the sisters? Oh my God, yeah, listen to that show.
Yeah. We'll be going in. But so
there you go.
Frequency response.
Okay.
And we will see y'all again next week, same time, same day, same channel.
Unscripted. Come get some.
I'm famous, baby. That's how we gonna do it on you this time. We'll turn up for real on you. Come get some. Yeah. The high frequency freaks with your memory. I can take control of your ability. You gigabytes are slow. You need a recharge at barrel level 1%. You need energy. Remove unwanted files, that's the remedy. The thought is traveling miles, I see your symmetry. Your wave files have a play style. It's been a long while since you go close to lyrically. In cyberspace we chase the whole rat race. The secret hoping is to get the first place. When I bake a cake, you get the first taste. Whip a pill with the skill, this is my birthday. She wanna be the Wi-Fi in the worst way. She unable to connect, so thirsty. The apple of my eye, but you PC, you Androids I avoid, please don't chase me. It's simple math, it's basic in the matrix. You got a broken screen, get your basics. Walk in Silicon Valley, it's an ASIC. Google me, TV spray, check the spaceship. Can't download it and get your facelift. It all started with quads in the basement. We couldn't erase shit, vision like basic. Algorithms rocking your body, lyrics and faces. And the story goes, a man can't keep living, loving these hoes. And all you keep giving on down to your toes. And when the frequency response is on your face and it shows. Frequency response, your mind is overloaded and you never have the chance. The reboot, the truth, your nerves gonna shine. You can't keep freaking up over the time. I travel miles and miles throughout the galaxy. And you can check the files in the Odyssey. You can't get wave bundles in the jungle. Algorithm changing your prison and your analogy. You don't know what he's saying, you know he ain't playing. I'm on my 1s and 2s like I'm DJing. Keep searching for clues, but you keep playing. I attack to stay, believe DJing. Always got a clean cut like the face shaving. Speeding like an asteroid through your Milky Way. Your body like Neo, visually decaying. I'm an astronaut, I'm fucking super hot. And when I build with the moon, yeah, I'm super cool. Here's a food for you fools, 3 to 12 Jews. I just slide on by, can't tell a clues. Revolution won't be televised, fuck the news. And the story goes, a man can't keep living, loving these hoes. And all you keep giving on down to your toes. And when the frequency response is on your face and it shows. Frequency response, your mind is overloaded and you never have a chance. The reboot, the truth, your nerves gonna shine. You can't keep freaking up over the time.